Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and you're back with Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're in our new republic, where at the end of the last episode I left with the quandary of, would this humble truck be able to transport enough goods to get our money moving in the right direction? And the answer is, yes it can. So when we left, it was, tail end of January? Where are we now? Tail end of February. And we went from 9,641,000. We're now on 9,648,000, and that's about to go up to, come on, in your own time, when you're ready, 652,000. So the money's moving in the right direction, which is very good. I mean, arguably, if it weren't, that would be very bad. So it's a good thing. Claim a celebration, and we'll all celebrate with a little bit of vodka and maybe some beluga caviar. That would be nice. Now, there is obviously more money that can be made out of this factory. It is not yet running at full capacity. We're at maybe 50% for most of a 24-hour period. Now, that in itself is not bad. It's certainly better than I managed to achieve with much of what I did in the last series. However, that we've got it here, we might as well try and push it to the max. And that means we're going to need a few more buildings here. And I suspect, rather than suspecting, what I'm going to also do is build out the what's the word I'm looking for? Facilities, support facilities that go with it. So we'll add a hospital and we'll add a fire station onto the line here. Now, later on, this warehouse will become all the more important. My hope is to be able to put a chain of warehouses together, mixed along a single rail track. So the idea is, we'll be hypothetical here, right? So let's say we start over here somewhere, is that the train will pick up and fill one wagon from here before picking up some more and a little bit more and a bit more again, and so on and so on and so on, all the way through until it reaches the border, whereupon it will unload and we'll make a stack of cash. It will then reverse up the track and do the same thing again. That's the hope. So there will need to be a little bit of reorganisation of Dangerfield when we reach that point. But we're a fair way off that yet. Maybe as many as 5 or 6 episodes. So let's continue to pack out the town here, and I think the level of smoke coming out of there is slight cause for concern. So I will plough in a fire station pretty quickly. It's not that I don't trust in my citizens to actually keep the thing under control, but I don't trust them. Not even slightly. Right, okay, so if you want a fire station, where should we put it? Well, if I put it here, right, then it's not going to help anything beyond the town there. Whereas, if I were to put it out over here, then whatever the next construction is that I get to work on, it can potentially reach that as well. So we'll plough that in there. Obviously, we're going to have to pay for it ourselves. But that's kind of the point of what we're up to here, and that will get built up. We'll give it a couple of fire engines, and everything will be amazing. As far as the hospital is concerned, I think this area of flatness that we've got here will probably do the job on that front. You will notice that thus far I have only one vehicle moving up and down the streets. Long may that remain the case, but I think it's inevitable we're going to be running some more at some point. Now then, we've got this tiny little, well, I mean, it's a transit van with a ladder on the top. I don't think that's going to be putting out much at all. So we'll roll a pair of fire trucks there, and of course this isn't working because it's got no flaming stuff. So if I put another building here, then that will probably help staff up the hospital. If I put the hospital in there, then I think we've got some potential. Now, how big is the hospital's actually not as big as you think it's going to be. It's barely larger in terms of footprint than the housing. So that's all good. You go there. Right, now, all this is expensive, and obviously our balance is going to be dipping as we do all of this behaviour. But the theory is that if I were to just then leave it alone, we'd make all that money back quite quickly. Quite quickly. We'd make all that money back eventually, I think is the fairer way to say it. Right, now then, what else have we got going on here? Let's footpath around. No, we don't need to. You've already got one footpath connection. You're absolutely fine. Whack a bit there as well, just to keep it moving. But anybody who wants the hospital now can do. We've got 3 staff, but no doctors. I'm going to need a university. Right, if I do a university in the next town, then that will probably be able to support both this one and so it will support 3 in a row. I am basically going to build along this highway, straightening it as I go, and use that as kind of a route 1 for all vehicles. Now, if I am going to build a university, let's say around here, for the sake of argument, then I will need a bus route so that citizens can get to where they need to be. Yes. Right, we'll buy you an ambulance, and I am quite taken with the estate ambulance rather than the Polish, more traditional. It's just another repurposed transit van, but you know it's going to get a job done. One hopes. But I'm faintly optimistic that what we've got now is going to give the nice people here of Dangerfield sufficient reason to not want to bunk it off over the fence to next door neighbour. I'm hoping, anyway. Have we got anyone working here? No, you're definitely going to need a closer building. All right, well, brace yourselves. I might actually go with a different building design. I know, it could happen. Well, you say it could happen. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it. We're going to have more than one building design. Oh, it feels like I'm letting myself down there by not staying true to my original vision. But the original vision didn't work, and therefore, why not mix it up a little bit? Right, okay, you should do the trick quite nicely. I say should because obviously I've got no evidence one way or the other that it will do the trick. Let's get some footpaths in. Take you that way, take you this way, take you over. Oh, down there. There you go. Look, he's going to be a firefighter. Well done, jolly good show. Let's even make it easier for them and give them a footpath to get to work. Right, that is fire concerns handled. But we are going to want a few more. Am I redistributing when I buy a new building at the moment, or am I inviting in newcomers to our glorious new settlement? I don't know. Right, okay. Well, look at this one. This one does 189 workers. Hold on. The quality of flats is 91. Though I didn't see that before, that there's actually a building quality. I mean, the one that I used entirety of the last series has 83% quality. That could be worse. But the ones we've started using here have got 87, so they're actually nicer buildings as well. But those are a 91. Oh, these are 96. 179 versus 189. No, let's do it. Let's put in like some proper swanky pants housing here, and see how people feel about that. Let's go. There you go. That's going in. I'm not entirely sure. Thank you, Tooltip. Go on. You can go. I'm done with you. There you go. Thank you. Right. There you go. Early access games, everybody. Tooltips. They like to hang around longer than they're invited to. Right. Again, I did not check to see whether I was redistributing my personages or whether they were all fresh in the door. I think they were all fresh in the door. I'll check next time I build one, if I remember, which I probably won't. Right, let's put a road in, a footpath in there, just to speed them along, and that should get me fairly close. Or I think it'll probably add maybe another 10-15 per shift. To the factory. We could really do with a footpath heading down here, though, to get them to where we need them to be. The shopping centre is certainly easily accessible, but stop clicking the happy family symbol. It's not the one you want. Can we squeak a footpath down there? Yes, we can. Grand. Okay, then we can take that off there, and that should facilitate my factory workers working in the factory. Work, factory. Do a bit of that, do a bit of this. Wait, you had it. There you go, do a bit of that. And there we are, we've got an in-town kind of hot route bypass set up. operating there. There you go, up to 65. That is more than acceptable. That will run us really rather nicely, and that came in at a cost of about 75,000 to put all of that together. Obviously, plus whatever I built last time around. So that's actually not a bad setup. They need culture, and they'll be happier if there's religion. I really don't want to pursue religion because as a good communist, I think religion should probably be phased out somewhat in this republic. Yeah, culture, however, I don't know. What have we got available to us? I think it's only the cinema that can really knock the culture into high gear. Let's have a look at the residential stuff and have a look. Cinema. Well, that's your culture right there, isn't it? Price if funded from Rose 19,000. It's not that I'm averse to building them a cinema. It's just that what I don't think I have actually got an excuse. Okay. I tell you what it is. It's because I always wanted it to be the radio station that fulfilled the cultural requirement. But given that my radio station never really took off in Failuregrad, then I think let's do it. No, look, if the aim is to keep everybody as chipper as possible, then invest the money and make it happen. But you'll see already that the placement of buildings in this new let's call it a town. I think it's reached the size where you can call it a town. The placement of no, it wasn't a housing block. I was about to criticise myself for again not noticing how many people I was moving in. What? Oh yeah, the placement of people. Finish your thought. Within the new town, placement of buildings is actually a hell of a lot easier now that we're able to pre-smooth the whole shebang. It's making life much more straightforward. I think we'll even run a little back route path here, and give people alternate access opportunities. Now, obviously, this path is unlit, and therefore its safety records may be questionable. Let's hook that up onto there. I don't know how much catchment that's going to actually have, but as long as it's got some. Oh no! Look, it's got loads. We've got all of them. Everyone can go to the pictures and watch the latest propaganda movie. In fact, do I have control over the level of propaganda that we can offer? Not currently, no. Oh well, that's by the by. So the only thing they're now missing is religion, and they're not getting it. So hopefully everything else will keep them suitably chipper, and we'll then be able to move on. Right, next town. We will be revisiting Dangerfield later on, but it is now self-sufficient, and this town on itself is making a profit. Therefore, we'll move to the next one. Right then, now what have we got? This is around the location that we're after here, and someone suggested that a ruddy great sawmill would do me all kinds of favours, and there's a strong part of me that goes, yeah, you're absolutely right, it will. So that's what we're going to do. First job, however, is kill the road. Now, I could just overlay it with the more sophisticated road option, but no, we're not going to do that. We're going to relay it after we've smoothed the whole area out. And since I have bulldozers galore, well, maybe not galore. I've got 5 bulldozers for which the smoothing will take place, or from which, of which, by which, via which. What's the hold the button down to continue zooming? It's shift. I thought it was. Now then, this is going to prove to be a little bit tricky, unless I route round the back here, or unless we go for a new zone of flatitude, which is what I'm opting for. Oh, whoa! You're paying for it. Don't pay for it. You've got the tools. Use the tools available to you to smooth this out, and while you're doing that, don't knock down all the trees. Yeah, I'm going to need to knock down some of the trees. Well, that rather removes the benefit of having all of these trees available to you to turn into profit. If you're just going to knock them over, then you're wasting your natural resources there. Now, stop just wafting it around leisurely and instead create one flat patch, move on, and bring that one up to tempo. There you go. Move on. Do the same with the next bit. Move on. If this even works at night, you might have to turn the wireframes on. Brace. All right. And there you go. Gradually ease that up. Now, bulldozers will do most of your flattening for you, but occasionally you do need a digger as well for more strenuous activity. In fact, I might buy a digger or two just in case strenuous activity comes along. I wonder if having a digger would actually help the further end there that is not quite at the same height. Let's do it now and see what happens. All right, there you see, that's how science works. You kind of go, well, I don't know what's going to work. Well, try it and see what happens. Excavator. Right, we've got this Soviet number or this Soviet number. Well, I don't like that one. It's because it's got wheels rather than treads, and you know, treads are superior. We'll have two of them, and while I'm at it, we'll have another two bulldozers as well. This construction team here is going to be all bulldozers and a couple of diggers, as far as the eye can see. Give me smooth or give me not smooth. Well, I mean, it's picked up the tempo. The reason I've upped the tempo of the game is because doing so ups the progress of your workforce there. All right, it is still quite slow going. Now, I imagine if I had you know, multiple construction yards all full of bulldozers, then we'd make a little bit swifter progress. But as it stands, it's swift enough. There you go. That's it. This is trotting along a little bit quicker now that I'm rolling 7 dozers instead of 5. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lumber mill down the hill. Well, I don't know which side looks more productive. Right in there. So I mean, somewhere between these two is probably the sweet spot. So I'm going to try not to, which shouldn't be that hard, but it's me, so you can't rule anything in or out. Try not to bulldoze any more of those trees. Are we? Yeah, no. Just don't rock it forward too quickly, or you'll end up undoing the good works that the team have done. And anytime soon, the team are likely to want to go for a quick drinky at yonder fuel station. So what we're going to work on here is we're going to do lumberjacking, and then we'll have a sawmill as well to saw stuff in the sawmill, because that will yield yet further goods, and obviously we'll export everything to start with, but later on we'll probably try once again to be self-sufficient for all building materials. There you go. That's come along quite well. Now, as we move the road further and further inland, well, I say inland, further away from the border, let's say that, then I'm going to have to smooth along the road as well if I want the road to be nice and level. Now, the good thing about this, of course, is that if I put my my warehouses correctly, then this will also mean that my train lines should be nice and flat. There is quite a lot of should be in that statement, but you never know. Right, let's reduce the size of that, and then we'll switch to the smoothing tool that is not quite as smooth. There you go. That's it. The less smoothing tool, which I couldn't tell you what it's going to do, but there you go. It likes to. It's basically, this one's more of a kind of a redistribution tool, whereas this one is more of a brute force, flatten it out and make it useful. So I prefer the new one, obviously, because it's more practical. But the original is not without its benefits. Right, road time. Now then, let's see if we can't put a nice bit of Roman in this. It's currently doing that, but I think we'll put just the slightest kink in there in order to have it pointing ready for the next bit of development. Now, smoothing out everything from here into the inland of our nation is not really going to be that practical, but that should be enough for the moment. Right. Okay, we've got a bit of road. Next trick is going to be to stick in a sawmill. That's not really much of a trick if you're paying for it out of your back pocket now, is it? Various industry, trees and accessories, just industry. There you go. So a wood cutting post is cheap as chips. Uses 30 workers, and then a sawmill is another 20 workers. This is dead easy stuff. This, and then we'll export from there. Now they don't sit, if I recall correctly, they do not sit in a warehouse. They need some form of not a warehouse. Really, you're a genius. Yeah, thanks. Right, hold everything. You're going to want to get this in, so you flatten the terrain out using the team. Go on, team. That's it. That's good. So we'll want one there. We'll use that dirty brown mark as the indicator of where we're going, and then I want another one over here. Yeah, I think you're going to struggle to get up the hill, though, aren't you? You're definitely going to struggle to get up the hill. Let's put the road in first. Gravel will suffice. Yeah, you see? Too big a descent. Can't have it. No. All right, well, how about... Yeah, what about a subtle piece of smoothing? Okay, but you know, don't ruin your tree line. Don't you're also look you're making a mess of this. Well, I need a gentle slope there. We'll use the unconventional smoothing tool and see where you get to. Right, try it again. See how that works. Various wood, flatten it. Yeah. Look, I mean, we'll give it a go, but I think that might have made everything budget. Right, okay. Now, it also has a connection option to some form of storage hut / yard / something. I don't know what that connects to. Well, if you have a look at the storage / collection / yard, you should be able to figure that out for yourself. You're not a complete imbecile. Right. It's going to be open storage, right? Does that have... Yes, it does. Right, so you could store openly about there, and that then solves you a problem. All right, well, we'll try it. I don't know if I'm going to get the ramp up the hill here, but we'll give it a go and see what we get. I think we're probably going to have put the kibosh on ourselves there, but we'll have a look and see what happens. Hey, it worked. I'm a little surprised. Only a little. I had belief all the way, and obviously that is that sitting flat? Is that just the texture that makes it look like it's sunken a little? Maybe. So if we do something similar over here, I don't know if I've actually got the space to do it over this side as well, but we'll investigate and we'll find out. Oh, I see. You've got the facing in entirely inappropriate kind of way, and that's going to make the road connect in a complicated fashion. Is it worth doing? Yeah, it's still worth doing. Right. Okay. Well, flatten the sucker out. There she blows. Yeah, that looks adequate. And then get the old pay for it with the rubles. That's that done. Now I could have kinked that round the corner a little bit to make the next connection a little bit more straightforward, but no, don't give me that. It is not too wonky, although it is uphill. Yeah, because I can't build just a little bit and then go, and then you connect. No, this is never going to, that's not going to work. Sorry, boss, you're out of business. Good. As ever, measure it once, cut once, and then bulldoze everything. Right, give me the level of the land here, and then smooth everything according to that. There you go, that's it. No, you're paying for it, incidentally. Now, I know paying for it's quicker, but don't. There you go. Right, do a bit of that. Yeah, I know. I'm eating into the smooth bit that I've got up top as well. But we'll make it happy. No, you don't want that. You want storage. There you go. So you can tell I never got around to really building very much last time. Because why does this look completely different to what I was going to build? Did I even build the right thing there? I don't think I did. I think I built the wrong... What the hell did I build? Well, whatever it was wrong. So no real loss to any of us there. This will go in here just dandy. It needs a little bit more flattening. There you are. And then auto build avec rubles. Go. Right. Connect those up with a little bit of this, and we should be in a position to prosper. Right, that's going to wrap it up for this time. No, I'm not going to finish it now. I think there's too much to do to get it done within an adequate time frame. However, this is the idea, is we'll take these two. This open storage should mean that no matter how much we end up producing from these two lumber yards, we end up with a goodly amount stored, ready for truck pickup, which will then transport probably over to a sawmill. I don't know, here-ish, I should think. Don't know, but it seems plausible. And then we could probably add another sawing combo up to gather this tree line as well. Tough to say for certain. Anyway, I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching. In the next episode, we'll finish that off and probably make good plans in terms of getting a university going and get our first bus route going along People's Highway number 1, because those students are going to want to get around a bit, and we're going to help them. Anyway, subscribe to make sure you keep up on the series, and I'll be back very soon with the next episode. Let's find something fascinating to watch. Oh, I don't know. How about the toings and froings of simple, humble folk who are toing and froing in a simple and humble fashion? I'll catch up with you very soon. Cheerio. And now, friends, a very minor commercial message. Go and buy one.